Oh. And off fishing we go.
Driving down these dusty roads underneath the Texas sky so bold. Pickup truck and my old guitar, strumming tunes neath the evening star. Back roads and sunsets, whiskey in my hand, guitar strings and country dreams in this southern land. Fields of gold and corn so high beneath that Oklahoma sky. Cowboys riding, hats held high as the moon stars.
Hi everybody, welcome to the second vlog. Hope you enjoyed the first one. If you didn't, pop back and have a listen, a little look at it. This one's slightly different because although I'm at the same water, or the same complex, I'm fishing on the different lake. There's two lakes. There's willows, which I normally fish, and there's trout, which is this lake that I'm fishing today. I had a little chat with Geordie, who's one of the local guys who's fished this lake more than anybody else. Apparently he's been fishing here for years and years and years, and as he's told me that the majority of the 50s that are in this particular complex, nearly all of them are here in Trout Lake. Now obviously I have to say I am after catching a big fish, so there's no point in fishing where they aren't. You've got to fish where they are, and apparently they're all in this lake. Because what happens in this particular lake, there is a river that runs by the side of us, over on this side, and regularly, most years, everything floods. There is a fence to stop the fish from getting out and other fish from getting in when it floods, but the fish can migrate from one lake to the other. So they might start off in one lake and then end up in this lake, or start in this lake and end up in the other lake, depending on where they are when the water goes down. It hasn't flooded this year, and nearly all of the 50s apparently are in this lake. My aim is to catch a really big carp. I'd be happy with a big 30. I'd be more happy with a 40, and I'd be overjoyed with a 50. I'm not even thinking about the 60. But if that's the case, and that's where I've got to be. I've got to be where these big fish are if I want to catch them, and that's obviously what I want to do. I want to catch big fish. And there's a lovely tree to my left hand side which is just screaming for me to put a rod against. So I've done that. I have actually on that rod anchored everything down. I've tightened up so it can't have a lot of line. The rod is actually attached with a butt grip over the back of the butts to stop the rod getting ripped out of the rod rest. So that way it can't get tangled too easily, because I'm going to stop it from doing that, hopefully. Let's see what we can do. Right guys, I've decided that this week I'm going to take a little bit of somebody else's knowledge. One second, let me turn this kit on. I was watching a very famous angler, very famous carp angler, Mr. Mark Holmes, and I was watching him the other night on his monthly show, and one of the little things that he came up with, which I thought, yeah, I like that a lot. And what he said about before, I was showing you where I had a little lead bead that was on the end of my hook, and I took notice of what he said about that might be getting in the way of when it goes into a fish's lip, and he used a piece of lead shrink tubed, So I thought, do you know what? Looks like a good idea. Why not give it a go? So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give it a go and see where it goes. I mean, he catches enough fish, so and he catches some really good fish, don't you, Mark? That's if you ever watch this. Probably not. But yeah, so I've taken a leaf out of your book, sir, and I'm going to give that a crack. Let's see if it works. So, as I was just mentioning, this is the rig that I'm going to use on this particular rod. I never use the same rig on all of my rods because obviously you've got to try and find the one that works. This is the one that I mentioned in my first vlog, the double 24, with a bit of a space between. I've just realised that actually there's something else I want to try. As you can see on there, I'm using dental floss, which is the go-to for everybody, mostly. But I've decided that I've actually got an old packet of line, which is not very good. It's only £11 when wet, breaking strain. But it's green, and it's a hook length. It's for, but I never use it. So I'm going to start using that to tie my baits on instead of the dental floss. That way, the fish can't see it. I don't think they see it anyway, but you've got to, again, it's that edge. Will it work? I don't know, but I'm going to give it a go. So I'm going to put one of the rods on this one, and we'll see if there's any difference in the bites. Let's just hope we get a bite.
53. A lad had a 44 over there. That's a brand new 40. Never seen it before. It's been a brand new 40. So everybody's expectations are high now. 48 caught out here last year. So there's, do you know what I mean?
I know what
and
you
I
mean.
keep telling the lads, I say, they're going, oh, Lee, do you fancy coming to France for 3 weeks? We'll pay for it. You know what I mean? Free fishing. I'm going, why? Why? This is France in Yorkshire to me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
I've done France in the 90s, you know.
That's it. Okay, well, I'm in a bit of a brew, and it's going to be a cold one tonight. I've had a chat with a few people, and apparently, I don't know if I made the right move here, but I'm fishing the other lake. I'm fishing Trout Lake instead of Willows, and I've now been informed that there's only one fish come out in the last 4 days. So we're looking like it's going to be a hard one. Hey, that doesn't mean, well, you won't believe what's just gone right under my rods, right the way through my tips and my rods, and I think that was a pike. It's probably chasing fry. So it made one of my rods beep, which I think you probably heard, and then I just saw this right under my rod tips, all the way through, all 3 rods. Come on. But we're not pike fishing, we're carp fishing. So let's hope we catch a carp. Well, it's a nice enough day, but this is proving to be a very, very difficult lake. I don't think we're going to catch a lot of fish if we catch anything. I think we've got a problem with, well, the one thing about this lake that I don't like is it's got no features. It's just straight down, flat. So it's kind of a chuck and chance. And the features that I can cast to, which are under the tree, well, there's a tree nearby. I'm thinking, well, I'll put one there, but then I've got the swans. I've got the problem with the swans over my bait. So I've had to move the rod at least half a dozen times. So I've given that one up. What I might do though is I might put that back tonight, because obviously the swans will go get their heads down for the night, so I'll be up early in the morning anyway. So I'll give it another go this afternoon or this evening to try and catch one out from under the tree. Apart from that, it's proven to be a really difficult 48 hours. As far as I'm aware, there's only been one fish out in the last 4 days. So guys, but it won't stop me coming back. But hey, it's not over yet, is it? Right, just watching this coot. He's got a nest. There's the female. She's just come off. And they keep going off and building a nest. I wish I could get closer, but I don't want to frighten them off. Friends just decided to go and have a little swim. Okay, we're getting to the end of the last day of the 48 that I'm here. It's been very hard. Still haven't caught. Still haven't had a bite. But that's carp fishing. And but there's every chance that we could still catch one tonight. We could nick one out this evening, or tonight, or first thing in the morning. Looking right for it, but the only problem I haven't seen any shows. There are no shows, and when I mean the people that don't carp fish, a show is when a fish will breach. You'll see it literally come out of the water and back in the water, and that's the sign of a feeding carp as well, because what they're doing is they've got their heads down on the dirt in the weed and everything, and they just suck up all of that muck and suck up all the goodness that's in them bits of mud. But the gills get covered, so they come through the water, they breach, and it clears their gills out, and it's a sign of a feeding carp. But unfortunately, they're not showing, they're not breaching, which tells me, are they feeding? They'll still be feeding, but they might be feeding on crustaceans and plankton that are further up in the chain. Now there's another way of getting around that. You could actually use zigs. Yeah, I don't want to catch that. I don't want to catch on zigs. Never been a zig man. I've tried it, but I think with zigs you've either got to be all in or not at all. You know, you can't just put one rod out. It's all or nothing. and I'm not convinced. Well, it's not that I'm not convinced, it's just not the way I want to fish. I wouldn't have minded today if I could see a few on the top, and then would have got my surface rod out, and then we could have fished on the top to catch a few on the top. But again, as I say, there's nothing showing at all. There's just no fish showing at all. And I've had my Polaroids on, and I've been looking around the lake and trying to see if I can see any movement, any shadows. Um, going across the top layers of the water. Nothing. So it's been one of those. It's been very frustrating. But if we came and caught every time we came fishing, we probably wouldn't come as often. So they have to have these days when we don't catch, or these times when we don't catch, because then it makes the times we do catch more enjoyable. But right now, I'd love to catch a carp. We've got a fair few hours where we might be able to nick one, just the one, not being greedy. And I don't care what size it is, I just like to. This could be a problem. This could be a big problem, because every time they do that, they go over my line. They're only looking for food. Well guys, just going to sign off again. Unfortunately, nothing caught this time around, but hey, I'm back there in a few days. We've taken a little bit of time in putting this one together, me and my good man, my son, thanks very much Dan. But hopefully the next one we do, again I'm going to be on trout, because that's where the big ones are, and hopefully, I'm going to be giving the middle finger, we'll catch a big one.